You wake up, grab your phone to buy coffee, and suddenly, your card is declined. You check your app, and it says the dreaded words, account frozen. Your heart drops. You assume you've been hacked. You assume it's fraud. You call your spouse. You call your friends. Panic setting in. But what if I told you it's not fraud? What if I told you your bank's own AI just flagged you as a criminal simply for trying to pay your rent? In 2026, banks are freezing more accounts than ever before. According to the federal government's own data, over 10,000 suspicious activity reports are filed against everyday Americans every single day, often without warning, often without explanation. Today, we're exposing the hidden algorithm that decides who gets access to their money, the legal loopholes that allow banks to stay silent, and exactly what to do if it happens to you. Here's the scary truth. Humans aren't freezing your account anymore. Robots are, and they are working faster than ever before. Under the Bank Secrecy Act and stricter 2026 banking regulations, financial institutions are under massive pressure to catch fraud instantly. The fines for missing a suspicious transaction are in the billions. So banks have handed the keys to artificial intelligence. These AI models scan every single transaction you make, 24/7. But here's the problem. These AI models are flawed. They don't know context. They don't know your mom just sold her car and gifted you the down payment for a house. They don't know you're freelancing and that large deposit is a client payment. They only see patterns. If you receive a large gift, sell a car, move money between your own accounts, or even travel overseas, your spending pattern suddenly looks unusual to the algorithm. To the AI, you look exactly like a money launderer. It sees a spike in volume. It sees a deviation from your norm, and it pulls the emergency brake. Once the AI flags you, the bank compliance team reviews it, or sometimes the AI does that too, and they file something called a Suspicious Activity Report, or SAR, with FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. And here's the kicker, the part that traps so many people. It is a federal crime for the bank to tell you they filed it. They can't say why. They can't say who flagged you. They can't even confirm a SAR exists. They just freeze everything. So you call the bank. You're stressed. You're angry. The customer service rep reads from a script. We cannot disclose specific details due to security reasons. You're stuck in a loop. Your rent bounces. Your cards decline at the grocery store. Your automatic subscriptions fail. And the bank isn't required to give you notice until after the freeze is already active. Here's what almost nobody tells you. There's no fixed timeline the bank has to follow. Unlike a lot of consumer protections you'd expect, courts have upheld account freezes lasting a month or longer as reasonable under the fine print you agreed to when you opened the account, with no maximum cap written anywhere. In complex cases, it can drag on even longer. Imagine being cut off from your life for weeks. No groceries, no gas, no rent payment. All because an algorithm decided your transaction looked weird. And because you can't access your money, you might miss payments on other bills, damaging your credit score through no fault of your own. But wait, it's not just AI errors. There are two other silent triggers you need to know about, and they are just as dangerous. Reason number 2, the creditor levy. If you have an old debt, maybe a credit card bill from 3 years ago, a medical bill you forgot about, or even unpaid student loans, and a creditor gets a court judgment against you, they can freeze your account instantly. They don't have to call you first. They don't have to warn you. The first you know about it is when your debit card stops working at the register. Reason number 3, the death freeze. This happens more often than you think. If a family member passes away and didn't name a beneficiary on their account, or if the paperwork isn't perfect, the bank will freeze every penny, even if you're the next of kin. They will lock the account until probate court sorts it out. And as anyone who has been through probate knows, this can take months. Let's look at a scenario that plays out constantly. I'll call her Sarah. Her story is a composite of what happens to freelancers and small business owners every day. Sarah is a freelance graphic designer. She received 3 large payments from clients in quick succession, totaling about $12,000. She moved that money to her savings account to pay her taxes. To Sarah, this was normal business. To the bank's AI, this looked like structuring, a money laundering technique where criminals break up large sums to avoid detection. Her account was frozen for over 2 weeks. She couldn't pay her mortgage. She had to borrow money from her parents to eat. She was only unfrozen after she physically went to the branch with printed invoices, client contracts, and her tax forms to prove the money was legitimate. But those 2 weeks caused her late fees on her mortgage and nearly ruined her credit. All because the bank's robot didn't understand freelancing. So what do you do if this happens? Do not panic. Panic makes you make mistakes. Follow these 3 steps immediately. Step 1. Go in person. Do not call the 1-800 number. The call center agents have zero power to unfreeze a SAR flag. Go to a physical branch. Ask to speak to the branch manager. Ask for a written explanation of the freeze. Is it an internal review? ASAR? A court levy? Demand to know which department is holding it. Get a reference number for every conversation. Step 2. Prove the legitimacy. If it's an AI flag, you need to prove the money is clean. Bring receipts, a letter from your mom proving that $1,500 was a gift or the bill of sale for your car. Show them the AI is wrong. Bring your tax returns if it's business income. Make it easy for them to say yes. Step 3. Claim exempt funds. If the freeze is due to debt, remember, Social Security, disability, and veterans benefits are federally protected. If those funds were deposited electronically in the last 2 months, the bank must release them. They cannot freeze protected government benefits for most private debts. Force them to review your account for exemptions. The banking system in 2026 is faster, smarter, and more aggressive than ever. Their safety algorithms don't care about your context. They only care about risk. Your best defense is knowing the rules before they freeze you. Monitor your accounts, avoid sudden large transfers if you can, and never mix business and personal funds. Keep your receipts. Keep your records. Because when the robot comes for your money, you need to be ready to fight back. If you want to know how debt collectors buy your debt for pennies and how to fight back, check out our next video. Stay safe and keep your money moving.